Hi Aries, welcome to your weekly forecast for January 3rd through the 9th. Happy New Year. Thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing on this reading here for your week ahead. This is going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You may stumble upon this video outside of the time frame that I mentioned. Don't you worry. You found it whenever you were meant to find it and whenever it was time for you to hear the messages. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the Aries collective. Not every single message is going to resonate, so take what does and leave what doesn't. So without further ado, my dears, let's connect and see what is coming up for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. One more shuffle here. Alrighty. 1, 2, 4. Okay, first card coming up is the Star. Okay, this could be Aquarius energy. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You may have an Aquarius placement. If you do, there can be big changes happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. The Star card is a very promising card. It's a very happy card because it follows the Tower. And in that way, the Star card tells us that the worst of it is over. The worst of it is behind you, and you can expect for things to get better now. You can make some long-term plans that are going to be successful, that are actually going to stick. The Star card is being seen, being recognized. You may have a star quality. Stepping into that star quality, you may be gaining significant following on social media or social platforms, and you may be inspiring and guiding and leading a lot of other people. Star card can also indicate abundant retirement, more than one stream of income coming in from more than one avenue. So this is very positive, very long-term, very successful energy when we have the Star card coming up. I do feel here with this Star card energy around Aries that there's something here where you're feeling as though you're taking darkness and you're turning it into light. You're taking something very negative and it's inspiring you to create something that's bringing you success and positively impacting other people. I'm feeling this vibe around the Star card. You're taking something painful and you're turning it into something inspiring, something beautiful, something positive. And I am hearing, I will hurt no more. I will hurt no more. It could be that you might be grieving the loss of a situation. It doesn't have to be a death. It could for some of you be a death, and maybe you're carrying on this person's legacy, or you're keeping them alive in some way by something you're putting out there. Or for some of you, you're channeling this pain into creativity or into some labor of love or an organization or something in this person's honor. I feel like you're taking a painful experience and you're turning it into something very helpful, very beneficial, and very positive. The next card that's coming up here for you, Aries, is the Temperance card. Now we have major arcana cards coming in back to back. When the major arcana cards come in for me back to back, it tells me that there's big changes happening in a very short period of time. This is big energy, big shifts, coming out of old agreements, breaking out of things that don't serve you, stepping onto your path. In fact, the Temperance card holds the message of stepping onto your life path, answering a calling and stepping onto your life path. So some of you might be feeling led or called to a certain type of work, and you're beginning to embark on that journey. Some of you are also finding the courage to be very public about it, or let people know that you're doing this, that you're getting involved with this belief system or this cause. And you're announcing it in some way. Some of you may be stepping into the role of helping others or guiding others to get out of their pain or out of their trauma. Now, the Temperance card is also associated with the astrological sign of Sagittarius. If you have a Sagittarius placement, there could be big changes or shifts happening for you in those houses or in that area of your life. Some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius. That might be impacting your situation in a very significant way. But overall, the Temperance card is going to be about patience, timing, that divine order, that answering that call, being on your life path. Very powerful energy here, especially following the star. So there could have been a tower moment for a lot of you that was directly linked to how you came here to help or what you came here to do. And you're awakening to that and you're seeing that and it's beginning to make sense. That's why I had this experience. That's why this happened. This is how I'm going to be able to take that experience and help other people with it. There's this sense or this feeling like my suffering, my losses, my challenges will not have happened in vain. Your next card here is the Three of Swords. So speaking of suffering, speaking of pain, right? A lot of you have been on a difficult journey. And the feeling and the sense that I'm getting from the Three of Swords, it's the this came up for one of the other signs, but I'm getting a different vibe for it with you, Aries, than I did for the other sign that it came up for. And some of you have heard me say that the Three of Swords tends to come up when there's a big blessing coming your way and Spirit is showing you who not to trust and who not to share that blessing with. But I feel you guys are well past that already. That's not the vibe I'm feeling in this card. I don't feel it's about you being shown who the snakes in the grass are. I think you were shown that a long time ago. You figured that out a long time ago. The energy and the feeling that I'm feeling for you guys in your case with the Three of Swords, it's like you have all of these challenges, you have all of these terrible, painful things that are happening, and you can't focus on it because all you can focus on is getting to the top of the mountain. I can't think about how much my foot hurts right now or how much my back hurts right now, because if I think about it, I'm not going to make it to the top of the mountain. I can't think about how much I was hurt when this person said this or did that, because then I'm not going to make it to the top of the mountain. And everything was just pushed down, pushed down, pushed down to climb to the top of the mountain. And then you're going to finally get to the top of the mountain. Here with the Star card, the Temperance card, you finally made it to where you were going. You get to the top and you have a moment to take a breather. You have a moment to rest. You don't have the distraction of the push, of the battle. And all of a sudden you're completely and totally connected and in tune with yourself. With the way you feel physically, with the way you feel emotionally, with the way that you feel mentally. And you're like, holy moly, am I hurt? And it's just in that moment, you're having a big, big release. You're having a big cry. Because you finally have a moment to be still and to actually feel, instead of pushing through the pain, distracting yourself. I can't think about it now. I can't think about it now. There's no more distraction. So you're feeling it to its fullest extent. And it might be excruciating for some of you. You may have a really hard cry. You may call out. You may yell. You may shout. But I feel like you're finally getting to release all of the things you didn't have the luxury of acknowledging because you had responsibilities. You had bills to pay. You had goals to meet. You had tests to study for. You had a job to show up for. You had kids to take care of. There was no time to think about how you were feeling. And now that you've made it and you've accomplished these things and you've succeeded and you have a little bit of downtime, it's all coming to the surface. And some of you have heard me say this. The Three of Swords is real pain. It's real pain. And we may have a really intense release, but the beautiful thing about it is that it doesn't last long. Once we have the release, we're good. we're feeling wonderful, we're feeling light as a feather, and we bounce back very quickly. So this is not a sadness that's going to, loom over you like a dark cloud, ruining your joy or ruining your successes. The only reason why it's here is because you have a moment to take a breath and finally acknowledge everything you haven't had the chance to acknowledge, because you had to keep moving, you had to keep pushing yourself. So I feel there's this success and there's this release. Some of you might even feel like you're crying because you're so happy, or you're crying because you're so tired. You can't believe that you finally crossed the finish line. You can't believe that you finally made it, but you did. And some of you are looking back and you're happy for what you've accomplished, but you're also realizing the people who weren't there for you. They might be coming up to you. They might be congratulating you. They might be wanting to celebrate with you. And you're like, where the heck were you when I needed help? Where the heck were you when I needed support? You sure didn't care. And now you're coming in and you're acting like you're caring. Some of you are hurt over that kind of circumstance. Now, the next card that's coming up here for you, Aries, is the Ace of Wands. An Ace of Wands is success. It's taking hold of new opportunities. And sometimes the Ace of Wands comes up because we're very tempted to turn something away because we think it's not that big of a deal. But Ace of Wands tells us it has the potential to branch out. It has the potential to become something bigger. You're going to get from it what you put into it. So it's up to you. In that essence, there's an opportunity here that if you cultivate it, if you put some energy into it, it can be very successful for you. It can branch out into something bigger. Overall, the Ace of Wands comes in to encourage us to seize the opportunity, to seize the moment. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than your sun sign. Don't forget to check out the love readings for January. Those are linked in the description. The 2022 12-month forecasts are also linked in the description. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful week ahead and a very happy new year. I'm wishing you all a very happy 2022. Take care, Aries. Be well, my dears.